2 Points Hospital, a real-time management game that centers itself around comedy.
Plants need water.
We'll talk about all of its good and bad points, plus the general flow of the game as well. If you like the idea of combined humor and hospital management, this one might be for you. After navigating the simple and brightly colored menus, you'll find yourself with a small area to build in. The tutorial is built into the initial phases of the game and feels quite natural as it teaches you how to play as you progress. You'll need to set up general practitioners' offices and diagnostic rooms to determine what's wrong with the patient. Then, establish some treatment rooms and fix their ailments. You'll hire doctors, nurses, janitors, and assistants. You'll have to balance their breaks, areas of operation, salary, etc. There are several overview screens provided in the game that break down what is currently happening to give you decent situational awareness. Like any management game, you need to pay close attention to your deficiencies and flow of your hospital to correct any issues. At some point, you'll run out of room to build, so it's time to expand. Buy up adjacent slots that are either available immediately upon purchase or require a little bit of waiting time as they are constructed. Once bought and constructed, you can expand however you want into that space. On the topic of buildable areas, it is worth noting that they are incredibly awkward to work with. You have no control over the placement of exterior doors, and the buildings often have weird shapes that don't work well with your rooms. I always found that I had left myself oddly shaped rooms or weird spaces and corridors left all over the place that really eat away at my OCD. I suppose this could be more forgivable if there's a planning mode where you could experiment with the layouts before building, but that doesn't exist, which just makes this process a bit of a chore if I'm honest. You can save templates and copy existing rooms, but each new level and buildable space has its own shape, so more often than not, you'll find yourself placing every single object again and again. That or be lazy like I am and just place things randomly using the same template everywhere. That's honestly about all I have to say that's bad about the building process, so let's move on. As you complete challenges in the game, you'll get an in-game special currency to buy new features. These will raise the hospital status and impact patient and staff morale positively. More appeal, higher level, and better prestige and reputation attracts more patients. Budgetary concerns are laid out very cleanly on an overview tab, and you can change the pay of workers, where they work, hire and fire at will, change the cost of your services, and a conglomerate of other features to help you start turning a profit again. There is also this great tab where you can check in on troubles in your hospital like needs, sterility, temperature, etc. I found this tab very helpful when things started going wrong. Research and development exists, as well as classrooms and marketing rooms to develop your hospital, staff, and profitability. As staff become higher trained, they'll want a promotion. And more money too, of course. Damn unions always riding me hard for I mean, yes, you can have a pay raise. And keep up the good work, okay, bye now. New levels are unlocked by completing the required objectives, and the new levels offer new challenges and situations to overcome. For example, one hospital receives more trauma patients than the other, so you have to specialize into that. Another hospital is a teaching hospital, etc. I think you get the point here. Once you progress, it's rinse and repeat. Start over from square one again and build your hospital from the ground up. Or you can just stay where you are and perfect the flow of your existing hospital, which, shamefully, I will admit I have spent way too much time doing. The comedy of this game comes in the form of watching your staff interact with their patients in their rooms. They perform silly tasks, and the treatments are special. There's continual silly PA announcements being made that help keep you informed on what's happening.
Patients should seem less sick and more cured during the health inspector's visit. In case of staff shortage, please contact a member of staff.
As well as on-screen prompts and just the way the game words things for you. Brings a smile to my face, but honestly after the first few hours, you do stop noticing it. Oh yeah, there's also the dead patients that come back to haunt your hospital, and then get sucked up in a vacuum by a janitor, Luigi's Mansion style. Mamma mia!
I'm gonna hunt you for...
Project Hospital is another hospital management style game. 2 Points Hospital is very similar to Project Hospital in terms of gameplay. They take two different turns when it comes to realism and staffing, however. Check out the full review link below so you can do a good comparison and see which game you'd rather buy. I'm also currently working on a comparison video between the two, so make sure you sub up to be notified. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Alright, to summarize, let's split this into a pros and cons list. Simple to pick up. There isn't a lot you need to learn to dive into this game. The game's tutorial is excellent and explains everything. It is up to you to dig through each panel and learn it, but they break down each panel's role nicely. Rewarding and addicting. Yeah, I've spent way too much time just perfecting how one hospital works. It just eggs you on enough with its rewards and benefits to keep you playing. Comedic relief. Again, with this game's focus being on comedy, it can bring a smile to your face when you're in the middle of figuring out a problem to help alleviate a little stress. I figured they did a good job with this, even if it does just blend in with time. And for the not so good. It's very awkward to build and the areas provided to you as previously mentioned. I really wish there was some control over the exterior doors or shape of the new buildings. I feel like this game wants you to have massive corridors and waste a ton of space. If you do anything but that, you'll end up with weird layouts that are not appeasing to the eye at all, nor efficient. The gameplay lacks depth, and I had the game figured out rather quickly. There honestly isn't a whole lot more to the game other than tweaking for perfection. It starts turning into a spam as many rooms as you can to keep up with the influx of patients kind of deal. It's not that there isn't content here, because there is. There are a lot of really well implemented features in the game, it's just that each one feels very shallow and lacking in needed complexity. On the other hand, there are a lot of DLCs you can purchase and expand the base game. I didn't check these out, so I can't comment, but they might add more depth back into the game. I'll leave my own opinion and hatred of having to pay for DLC packs to get more gameplay that should be included in the base game. Oh wait, whoops. Things start to get buggy the longer you play a level. I've had hospitals set up perfectly and were running just fine before I increased the level and suddenly started losing money like crazy. Nothing was able to fix it, and even though I had max reputation and very high prestige, patients just kinda stopped showing up in force. It didn't happen all that often, and I feel like there are very specific circumstances that need to occur for this to happen. Maybe I just suck at management games. Probably. This is a funny, simple, and addicting game to play. You'll lose yourself in its simplistic design and mastering your setups and getting to watch how effective it's running. I give this one a solid 7 out of 10, good, and receives the Stealthfox recommended buy. I only recommend it now because the price has come down since release. I absolutely do not think the game was worth the price they were originally asking for. It's still a bit on the high side in my opinion, but that's up to you to decide for yourself. Again, before you buy, make sure to check out my Project Hospital review linked below. It's cheaper, and these games go in different directions regarding management styles. I'd advise checking out both games before buying. You might be surprised which one you like better. As always, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Subbing up will make sure you're alerted for that comparison video and all of my future game reviews and tutorials. Thanks for watching everyone, stay safe out there, and stay ghost free.